the night, gleaming from the moisture in
all tomatoes. Mr. Bill, why don't you do it again? That was awesome last time.
Peace and love. We're here at the Nautilus M31 Studio podcast here, and today we have Leigh Holmes, and he's a musician and a real estate mogul. And I've heard you play bass and you play guitar and you write music. Mm-hmm. That's what we're all about. We're into people that are creative. And right. But anyway, we want to find out more about Leigh today. And my good colleague here, Mr. Yves, he's really good at interrogation, so...
Yeah. Let me get the whip. A couple of tools, a screwdriver. So, Leigh, welcome, man. Thank you for joining us, first of all.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.
It's really nice to have you.
Yeah.
We'll start very simply with asking you where you were born and if you're from there or if you've moved around.
Yeah, so I was born in Wales in the UK.
Okay.
And that's where all my family's from. And my mother moved to the island of Malta in the Mediterranean when I was 2 years old.
Oh, when you were 2. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
so
Do you remember anything from Wales?
I don't remember anything from Wales.
Did you ever go back?
I went back to visit. All my family is still there, so I go back to visit them. But I grew up on an island called Malta, which is in the Mediterranean, just south of Italy. South of Italy, north of Africa. It's right in the middle. It's the most southern European country, most densely populated European country too.
It is, really. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. A lot of people on top of each other. This place where we live now is the absolute opposite.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because the island of Malta is, I think it's around half the size of Mesa Verde. So.
Wow.
And
is that small? Oh my gosh.
There's about, there's pushing 1 million people now. It's got to be, there's...
Got to be such a beautiful place. How old were you when you finally left there, or how long did you get to stay there?
So I traveled a lot back and forth, but I left when I was 27, 28.
Oh, so you're a Maltan.
Yeah.
Is that what we call you?
Called? Yeah, I was going to ask.
It'll be Maltese.
Maltese. Yeah.
Or in its own
Maltese
language.
Falcon, is that?
Malti.
Malti. Yeah, that's I read a lot of biblical stuff, and of course all of those
Malta's in there.
Yeah,
they're European.
Isn't that where Paul was shipwrecked, I believe?
Yeah.
Anyway, it just sounds so beautiful. And are there a lot of Americans that have kind of filtered in there, or do you keep them out?
A few Americans, not many, but definitely some. I think it's a melting pot. It's definitely a melting pot. So after joining the EU in around 2010, we started seeing a lot of people from Europe come over. So, a lot of my friends were foreign growing up. A lot of Europeans and people from Asia, and some Americans. Not so many, though. Not so many. Yeah.
Wow. So that's an amazing other side of the planet here. Eve's going to ask you, what brought you over here?
Yes, that will be one of the questions. I can see you've paid attention.
You read the memo.
But no, the first thing I was going to ask you is what triggered your interest in music?
Okay, so my dad is a musician.
Okay.
He played guitar. And to be honest with you, I never really thought about playing music until I was 16, and he said, this is right around the same age that he started. And he said, do you want a guitar for your 16th birthday? And I never thought about playing music. It was never a thought in my mind. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'd like to play music. And I got really into it. I was going to college. I just started my first year at college at the time, and I got so into music that I couldn't think about. I was studying pure math and physics, and just got in the way of my music playing, to be honest. I expressed the interest, and part of me wishes I'd continued my studies, but a big part of me is very grateful for doing what I did. I went to my mom and I said, listen, I don't really want to continue college. I want to play music. No, I said, I don't really want to go to college anymore. And she said, well, you know, you're going to have to do something for 8 hours a day, you know. Instead, what are you going to do instead? Are you going to work? Or are you going to study something else? And I said, I want to play music. And she was like, well, okay. She said, okay. She said, I'll make you a promise. She said, if you play 8 hours a day, you know, and commit, then we can do it. You could do it. Wow. And I was like, okay.
8 hours a day.
8 hours a day.
Monday through Friday, or did you get weekends off?
I did it through the night. So when I didn't get my hours in the day, I stayed up playing guitar. Yeah. But I remember, you know, different to here, there's a lot of people in a small space in Malta, so you got to be quiet. You can't blast an electric guitar.
Exactly,
you know, my parents would be sleeping in the evening, so I remember playing an electric guitar, not plugged in, really close to it so I could hear it, and I'd practice all the scales in the evening. But I did commit, and I played 8 hours a day, and after a few years it paid off, because I was able to. I was a professional musician for around 7 years before moving into real estate, and you know, I wasn't well off by any means, but I made ends meet. You know, I always ate. I was able to pay for my housing through my passion, which was playing music.
That alone is amazing. It's so cool to be able to
while my friend, you know, there's also thoughts like, if I'd have done what I'm doing now back then, maybe I would have been further along. But at the same time that my friends were stuck in a 9-to-5 job, I had the freedom to kind of explore the world. I traveled all over Europe and played music, took my guitar. I went on a 2-month trip once where I just took a guitar and a backpack and had no idea where to go. Wow. It was a time where couch surfing had started. Do you know that website? Couch surfing had just started coming in. And, you know, if you'd have told my parents what I was doing at the time, it was like, you know, just reach out to someone online and say, hey, can I sleep over at your house tonight and join you at the jam session? And they're like, yeah, come over. We don't know these people, you know, but I ended up meeting a lot of cool people and had some... I was searching... What I wanted to do was play with other musicians. That was the way that I figured that because I never had any like formal training or lessons or something like that. I did a few lessons in the beginning, but mainly I learned to play music by playing with people like you, by playing with other people. So I wanted to kind of break away from the little bubble in Malta, which incredible music scene now that I'm looking back at it, which I didn't appreciate at the time. But going out of there, meeting other musicians and playing kind of helped me explore different styles.
Yeah. What were you playing? In bars or restaurants or?
A lot of busking actually in the squares. You know, in Europe they have all these like piazzas, these like huge squares with the tall buildings where all the businesses are and people walking by. So I did a lot of busking. I was able to gather a few gigs from that people that paid me, or even like, hey, listen, you know, we'll give you room and board for the night if you play. Yeah. So I did a lot of that. Did a lot of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you, I know you do. You eventually you started doing looping, probably because you were by yourself at times and thinking, you know what?
Yeah.
How did that?
How did it come along?
Did you know somebody who was doing it, or you just kind of came across it on?
Well, the looping started. I had a band called Irie Flow.
Oh, okay.
And at its peak, it was a 10-piece band, and we played a couple of festivals.
Jeez,
it's really cool. Like,
how can you find it? 10 people that can play music together. Would you have like 4 women singers and one section?
Well, what kind of music was it?
The foundation was reggae. Okay, but then it wasn't like roots reggae. It was. Incorporating other genres. So we had a really, really technical drummer, so he did a lot of like hip hop beats in with the reggae rhythms, and we had like backup singers and a trumpet player, trombone player, a keys player, percussionist alongside the drummer. It was pretty cool. So we I'll get to the looping question in a second. Because kind of the ending of that band is what led me to the looping. So, and we were three people that met, like the rhythm section, the drummer, the guitarist, and myself, who was rhythm guitar and co-lead singer. We kind of both sang, me and the other guy. But we wrote the songs together, and then session musicians came in for the bigger shows, and we taught them all the stuff. Anyway, I was dating someone who was in the band, and we broken up, and the band kind of fell apart at that point, and I had a little when you're hurt, it's hard to kind of go back to the thing that hurt you, you know. So there was a little hesitancy there to kind of join a new band or find new people. It was like it felt so good to me, so like this was the band, that when it went away, I was like, okay, I need to do something different. So that's when I bought a looper. I bought a Boss RC50. And it had three pedals, so you could do 3 different layers. I used to beatbox, and then sometimes use the guitar as a bass. And then I'd turn down the highs, turn up the lows, and have a bass line on a guitar. So I was playing like this full band style, but alone, because I was looping everything. Shaky egg. With this specific looper, you could like cut the bass or cut the drums.
You pick the sections.
Layer voice. Yeah, it's definitely a lot more to think about. And when you think about music, the best kind of times where I played music is when you're able to just like close your eyes and just kind of go and
no thinking at all.
With the looping, that kind of goes away a little bit. So when you're playing in a band, you kind of you can literally stop and the music keeps going.
So can you tell us from Malta to the US? I know I met you not too long after you landed here, but
so I was in Malta, and I was day off, not supposed to be working that night, and a friend called and said, hey, listen, a friend of mine was supposed to play this gig with me, but he pulled out last minute because he was scared. It's like their first gig or something. And he's like, and I'm a lead guitarist. He said, I need someone who can like play the songs and sing, and I'll just play the lead. And he said, would you be willing to help me out this gig? And I said, sure. When? He's like, well, I'm kind of setting up right now. Do you think you could be here 5 minutes ago? I'm like, okay.
So you did.
Okay, so I took my food out the oven. I was like having my roommate. I remember my roommate was out. I was like ready to have a night in on my own. No work that night. Anyway, this guy called me up. I'm like, yeah, sure. It was a local bar, so grabbed my stuff, went down there, and that night I actually met my wife. We ended up chatting after the gig outside and hit it off, and she's American from Michigan, and to cut a long story short, fell in love. 2 years later, decided to get married, and she has a big family, and we decided to have the big wedding here in the US. And our plan was to do a 2-month road trip through the US. We're trying to think, like, what do we do for a honeymoon? Do we spend all our money in a 1 week at a resort somewhere, or do we like just open it up and go longer and like camp, do national parks?
So
and
that was the plan.
That in my mind was like, I can't wait to see all of America. I've traveled all over Europe. I'm ready to see something new. And we started the road trip, and 2 weeks into it, the lockdown happened. So the COVID lockdown, and we just got to Memphis. It was three days we were here in Memphis, and we couldn't go to our next destination. We got a call from the airline saying your flight's been canceled. Don't bother rebooking because the borders are shut. What the hell's going on?
What kind?
It was a big deal.
So you were stuck in Memphis. What a serendipity!
I don't know. Out of all the places we could have got stuck on the way.
Yeah. Were you renting an RV and stuff?
We had a car, and we had a tent, and
just like an RV.
Yeah. But we found a couple. I don't know if you guys know them, Ted and Susan. They live up here on Road 37. They have like a little garden, little homestead thing, and they needed help, and that's how we found this place, was through a website called Workaway, where you kind of go and put in a little bit of work on the farm in exchange for food and accommodation.
Sure.
And that's what we were going to do for 2 weeks.
Okay.
After 2 weeks, we're like, what do we do? We can't go to our next destination. My wife's family were like, you can come and stay with us in our basement, and we're taking a call looking at Mesa Verde. And then I turned around and I see the La Plata Mountains, and it's like, I don't think I could live in a basement in a cold city right now. So we're just gonna, and we talked to these guys, and they said, stay as long as you want. We really bonded with them very well, and it was beneficial for them that we were there. It was beneficial for us that they let us stay. And we stayed with them for a year. We stayed for a year, and that's kind of what solidified our...
So when I met you, were you still there?
We were there.
Or had you by then? Okay.
I think when I met you, we were there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then a year later, we ended up buying a house in Cortez.
I remember that.
Perfect timing, because it's, I wouldn't say doubled in value since then, but it's increased a lot since we bought it. We actually bought at the old prices, and we were able to negotiate on it, and then it's just shot up since then. So we're very, very lucky that, you can't, in real estate, you can't, people say you can't time the market, but that was well timed.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't know, we were just putting our best foot forward, and we knew we wanted to live here. We knew we needed to buy a house.
Well, you don't know what's going to happen in 5 years. It's, in hindsight, people look at it differently, but like you said, you do the best you can at the time, and hopefully it's a good thing. I'd like to ask you about your songwriting. Mm-hmm. How much and when did you start actually songwriting rather than just playing music, or did you start right off like creating?
No, I didn't write songs in the beginning, and that's mainly because I didn't sing in the beginning. Okay. I only played guitar, and if you'd have asked me in the first couple of years, I wasn't a singer, I was a guitar player.
Right.
And then there was one time where I was at the beach and we're some friends, and Malta's a very kind of open place, so if you're chilling at the beach, it's like very okay for people to walk by and you're like, hey, you want to join us? And that happens all the time. So there was these guys on vacation that were like, oh, guitar player, let's sit with these guys. So we had a beer together on the beach, and he's like, you're such a good guitar player. He's like, do you sing? And I said, well, no, not well. And he said, come on, try. He was just, and I sung, and he's like, you were right. He's like, you can't sing. Like, should stick to playing guitar.
Are you serious?
And
that triggered.
That made me want to sing. Okay, so that I was like, okay, prove this guy wrong. I'll prove you wrong.
Hey, that's a good. What about him, man?
He helped me out. He helped me out because it took me a couple of years until I could sing, but 3-4 years of trying, practicing, doing some vocal coaching, like with friends. I sang a song one day that I wrote, and someone was like, oh, you have such a beautiful voice. And I'm like, really? That's developed. It's not, people say, some people may be born with it, or it comes a little bit more naturally. Yeah. But for me, I put in a lot of effort to learn how to sing, and I was able to. It's not something unreachable. If someone wants to sing,
I think it's amazing what we can do with our minds. I mean, it's really, it takes the right attitude and the right... if you really want to do something, you're going to get close, if not on target. So that's awesome. And talking about that, why don't we get you to do whichever song you decide to do? We're looking forward to it. So we're going to just set a very easy setup, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, so the song I'm going to play is called "Journey of a Lifetime," and I wrote it with a friend in mind, a friend of mine who passed away a couple of years ago. And, we are on a journey of a lifetime, however long that life is. I think we need to cherish that time that we have on this earth, especially with the people that we love, because they're not always going to be around. So I want to make sure that really cherish those moments. Here's Journey of a Lifetime.
Just keep moving on. Now our fate is set in stone. Yeah, we'll just keep moving on. Now our faith is getting strong. On a journey of a lifetime. Journey of a lifetime. On a journey of a lifetime. Journey of a lifetime. You'll just keep moving on. Now our fate is set in stone. They will just keep moving on. Now our faith is getting strong. On this journey of a lifetime. On a journey of a lifetime. On a journey of a lifetime. Journey of a lifetime. Journey of a lifetime. On a journey of a lifetime. On a journey of a lifetime. We're on a journey of a lifetime.
Awesome. Mr. Bill, do you have a question for Leigh?
How old are you?
I'm 37 years
37.
young.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on coming to Mancus and finding your... Well, you already had your sweetheart when you came here.
I brought her with me.
Yeah.
That's the way to go.
What was that outside? Monkeys?
No, we have this thing that sprays like some kind of air freshener or something. It's misty stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Leigh,
Yeah.
awesome to have you, man.
Thanks for
Yeah,
having me.
nice to meet you and learn about you, man.